Okay, so it is Halloween, meaning it's the end of the month. That means this is the day I'm actually supposed to do the tier list update. I already checked NA and JP. Well, really JP because it doesn't matter what NA comes out um for these tier lists. But yeah, end of the month. There is no Typhon Ephemeros. Uh mm-mm. Sorry. If that character comes out, it might be next month. But we are talking about Sugitani, Theseus, Saber Shiki, Assassin Shiki, Saber Shiki, and Ptolemaios. And I want to start with the low stars, just because I think it'd be a little more fun. Uh, their videos are already out, so I'm gonna briefly go through them in this video. If you want a full breakdown, please go watch those videos. And yeah, let's get started. So let's start with Sugitani. Good upstairs kit, good base attack, scales well, level 120. It's at 5-star level. And the HP is actually, I would say, even beyond like 5-star levels. Like, the attack is whatever, you're matching a 5-star. The HP though, that is definitely like 5-star stats, like above 5-star stats. Because like most of them have HP in like 13,000. So yeah, her level 100 HP looks a lot closer to really high 4-star or low 5-star. Am I saying you should grail her? No. Mm-mm. But upstairs looks fine. She's not like lacking in anything. It's like it is important that she's supposed to be a DPS, that her attack is high enough. Like you said, hit counts are all. Aren't these? Do they actually have the same hit counts? Oh my god, they have the same hit count. They have the same deck. I don't know how I didn't notice that before. Oh yeah, everyone from this Ptolemaios has this too. Oh, that's what Miss was talking about. Yeah. No, like. Does he have the same exact deck? No, not the, but damn near close. All right. Sargen is what you expect from an archer. MP charge, nice and high. Not too high though. She's supposed to be a crit archer, so they can't spike her base game that high. Uh, yeah, good up here. Buster crit and Buster card performance. Stars per turn. You get crit damage buff every turn. That will be removed the second you use it. And a full cleanse. Evasion for 3 attacks, 3 turns. Star weight on Buster cards, and buff success rate up every turn for 3 turn. This lasts for 5 turns, but you get one every 3 turns. This has to do with the MP. You level You level this skill just for the cooldown and the star weight, not really anything else. And for an archer, you don't really need the star weight that much. It is pretty much solely for cooldown. Magic Resist D 12.5%, Independent Action EX 12%, Anti Arch Repend, it's whatever. And then her MP has a whole lot of RNG to it. You can supplement this with sports, you can supplement this with command codes, and her own kit leads you so you're able to not guarantee you get 100%, but you come damn near close. But you remove all buff success rate up buffs after the MP for herself. She doesn't remove all of them on the field just for herself. So the thing with using like Prince of Lang Lang, and I might have said it in the video, but he's only gonna work for one time. So it is like this isn't a unit that you want to be spamming the MP. You actively want to wait and take the right shot. Crit damage that have dodges get more crit damage, or allies with evasion get more crit damage. Based on her kit alone, I like there's no other place I can really put her other than this is one wrong one. The only place I can put her is an extremely niche. This is not a servant for everyone. You're not gonna be able to just bring her to any fight. I mean you can, but you can't use her like any .jpeg single target archer. This is a unit that scales a lot better based on the supports. You using like no buster supports, uh and just spamming cards is not how you use this servant. There is going to be a steep learning curve for how people use this servant in the future because not many people have her right now. Not many people are gonna roll on a single target, or even as good as Ptolemaios is. Not everyone is going to roll on a limited banner for a permanent servant when they can just wait. I can only put her in extremely niche just because that learning curve. It's not fair. It wouldn't be fair to put her in the lower categories just because someone just is so used to clicking brave chains and using up the crit damage. Like you could either crit someone for 50 plus what 100 crit damage or plus 400. What seems more appealing for the big screenshot? I like me personally, I would be trying to see how high I can get a 3-star to crit someone for just for shits and giggles. But yeah, if I had to place her in an actual ranking, her ranking would go down just because her ease of use is not there. This is a more complicated servant. The same cannot be said about Theseus though. Oh my god. And something I also didn't know, um, I said he reminded me of Sanson and that he was like a 3-star version of Lancelot. Um, the Sanson thing I could kind of tell by the face. I didn't realize they actually drew Sanson, Asterius, and Lancelot. Like I can't, you can see it in the face. You can see it in the chin. Um, this guy's very like his whole deal is drawing like super sharp uh chins, and like the eyes are a lot bigger, or more like more ratio of I don't even know why I'm explaining this. I'm not even an art student, but like the eyes are like really big in comparison to their actual eyeball, like the iris. So yeah, no, I should that would have been fun to actually point out. So Theseus, just like Sugitani, good base stats. When you grail him to a certain level, he will be touching 5-star stats. His competition is not the 5 stars. 100% his competition is the 4 stars. If you don't have high copies of 4 stars, he's probably gonna outdo him. If you only have one copy of a 5 star, there is a chance Theseus might get outscaled, but I say that heavily. Might. His base attack will never match a 5 stars. On the simple fact that a 5 star has 30 extra levels while he'll be at his max. Now, are you actually gonna grail him that high? Probably not. I'm just saying, like, if you were to compare him to a 5 star, you would need 120 stats in order to do it. When you could have used those grails just to push that 5 star up to 100 and level 100, and then he doesn't touch them. All right, back to this actual review. Trust me, I'm being harsh on him because I need to be. Like I need to be obvious who I'm comparing him to because I cannot compare him to like I really can't compare him to anyone on this list. So by default, I need to put him in EX. This lit like I said it in my rules when I originally wrote this. If a low star is compare like if I could compare them to a 4 star and it's a good comparison, EX. That's the ranking. And as I'll go into this, like explain more on it, you can't use him like you'd use Bedivere. Bedivere, you have to do like the only time when people talk about buster farming, like single target, it is so infrequent that you get a 1-1-1 of Lancers. There's only one time I can think of, and that was summer 7. That was the summer 7 90 plus plus. The first 90 plus plus we got in event. As the only time like actual buster farming works for a single target. You don't need that for a arts unit to do that kind of stuff. It's only buster. And that's a whole setup for just the 3-star to do it. So let's get started on talking about him for this video specifically. Base stats are good. He is supposed to be critting like way more than you'd think. Way more than you think. You'd think an archer would be the one that's like specializing crits. No. This guy drops so many goddamn stars. It's really, really stupid. Like Lancelot used to be like plug in stars come out, get more stars, crit, 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 MP crit, crit, MP crit, MP crit, crit, MP crit. Yeah, no, Theseus is gonna do that really easily. And he's gonna make your other supports crit. That's the important part. He doesn't really care about these cards that much. He only cares about the art crits. He only cares about like looping his MP back. Now you can do Mighty Chains. He has amazing cards to do it. Are his base stats all there? Not really, but it doesn't matter. Like whether he gets the other cards buffed or not, he's going to crit. First skill is definitely looks like it could be on a welfare servant, if not higher. Like that, like permanent, old permanent. This shit's on a lot of it. This shit's on a lot of permanent skills. It just makes them look bad. Three shuns, 30% arts, 20 battery, 10 stars per turn. Second skill, arts crit damage, arts star weight, 15 stars. 30% attack, 20% attack down, 15 stars. 6 cooldown across the board. Works very nice if you're using with Tamamo. That is a good cycle. You have very, very low uptime, downtime, not uptime, downtime on anything. And then your Tamamo, your Castoria, your Popus Johanna, your Lady Avalon, whoever the fuck you're using to support this guy, or any of your other supports if you're doing multicore, which I think this guy really shines for multicore. Yeah, solid up here. Passives, debuff resistance, riding B for quick performance. He has a decent quick card, but it's not like something you're really gonna focus on. It's just there. He can gen a little more stars. Anti Berserker because why not? This guy is just really good for like a single target nuke. Not the best, but like his what he has works for what is most common. And that's what's important. He's built to work with the meta. He's not like future proofing himself for what the meta could possibly be. He's already built for the meta. He can start with 20. He can do a 20 battery regardless of what the skill is leveled to. Castoria has AoE 30s. You're most of the time for most nodes, people are doing double Castoria whether you're plug suiting in or out. So, he's already at 100% at that point. And then you have the two 40% batteries. Your AoE probably is gonna get those. Or what are the cast stories? I don't know. That depends on you. But he's already built for the meta. There's no other different support that you have to bring to make him work. He already works what's good. MP, power mod against demonic beast servants, which it's to kill Asterius, but there are also servants that kind of overlap with that. So Asterius is a demonic beast servant. These are the servants that are going to be used in Tunguska if they are already out on NA. Meaning, all these servants stop at Ibuki and Melisson, and then Tiamat and Koinskaya. All these units, like even Dobrynya, is gonna come out right with the event. But yeah, Summer Ibuki. If you bring him to fight Summer Ibuki is going to get clapped because not only is she a demonic beast servant, that's not the end of it. That is not the end of it. She is also a giant servant, so she also still gets clapped. And the guy has anti berserker. Asterius got Ibuki fucked over. Asterius is a nice guy, but Ibuki now has like a complete. And I think shoot, I think Suna might. I don't think she counts as an Oni though. Maybe. Yeah, no, she does. So you'd still probably bring Suna over Theseus. But I mean, like, do you have super high copies of Suna to like really make that difference? And honestly, like Theseus is a little more general because it is all of the servants, it's Onis in general that he is going to have power mod because a lot of the bigger Onis are gonna get clapped. Oh yeah, and he also has a star bomb on this too. And he ramps up crit damage as well. Don't know what they were thinking. Oh yeah, and more power mods to the party. Yeah, I don't know what they were cooking. I'm happy. I'm happy that whoever got behind the wheel and cooked this up because this is a damn good servant. A lot of long-winded, but like that is my reasoning for putting him in EX. Like I would bring him more than Bedivere. Jason is very very good, but again, he doesn't have the battery, so you're a little more limited. You either have to start from 50 or you have to bring plug suit. It's one or the other. He technically can start from 0 to do his job, so you can just put on any like damaging CE to get him to do more damage. While Jason, you're kind of limited for him to do his farming. I mean, yeah, like the setup I'm talking about, it does require plug suit, but I mean, like most people are using plug suit for like harder stuff anyway. Gives you more options. So I'm gonna save this. October close star tier list update. Okay, wait. All right, I'm messing this up. Oh no. Okay, wait. Oh, okay. Hang on. All right, thank you. Pause button. I made a mistake in how I put this stuff in there. Now it's actually updated correctly. All right. So that is the low stars. Now let's run through this for Assassin and Saber because these are buffs, not actual new servants. Void Shiki. The most impactful thing for both of these servants is that insta kill is happening after damage. It means they can actually get some refund on their arts and Ps. That was the biggest issue with them. They would hit people and they would just die, which is, I mean, lore accurate, but they don't get any refund from that. That is a huge problem from arts because then what's the difference between them just using a Buster MP? There is no difference. They get no refund and they just do less damage. But they also got skill buffs too. It wasn't just that. Saber's Shiki, their arts buff is now 3 turns instead of 1 turns. In skill res down is 100% for 1 turn. I mean, for 3 turns instead of 80% for 1. And the ignore invul is for 3 turns. Uh, Void Shiki is able to Black Rail loop now. She's able to start from 0. And she just functions a whole lot better. So, where do I have her? Yeah, no, you definitely go to A, at least. At the very least, you go to A. I don't want to put her in EX just because she is going to need Black Rail. She has to kill. And I know, like, I'm being, like, super hyper specific about this, but she's not, like, she's not going to refund well. Even if she, like, okay, so even if she doesn't do enough damage and she gets the insta-kill proc, still doing normal damage and not overkill refund. So that's gonna impact her loop. Essentially, you're probably like, if there's any time that you don't loop 100%, you're probably going to need Oberon just to get her the final way. I know I'm being kind of nitpicky about this. And I know, like, I've seen what she can do. I know she's a really good solo unit too. That massive heal, just like, I think A is solid for her. I think A is solid for her. I know she hits harder than Muramasa, but Muramasa is meant for farming and doesn't require doesn't have to worry about whether or not she kills as much. They're comparable though. She is doing, I think, more damage, but because of his ramp up, he will be better. He will still be looping even without his buffs, or without all his buffs. Shiki's gonna stop her looping real short, but she'll be able to survive. I know it looks like so heavily balanced towards AoEs up here, but it really is just hard because sabers are really, they're all pretty good. Yeah, her, I think her going up 2 tiers is good enough right now. I'll be remaking the tier list in like 2-3 months. It's almost that time again. So people will get replaced. I'll scale down based off this. And like, people will go up or down. Just depends on buffs. And like, this is something, especially like Theseus. Some of these units might go down because Theseus exists. There's a 1-star or 3-star that is able to like feel better to use in some of these servants. So they might go down as well. All right, I'm gonna lock this. Oh, super. Okay, yeah, no, I don't have to rename it. That's fucking specific. It's in the class or category for this tier list. All right, yeah, I'm learning how to use this as I go. Sorry, chat. All right, so Shiki Saber, Shiki Assassin. Their buff, along with the in skill happens after damage. She gets 40 stars. For an assassin that like is more arts focused than quick, even though she has really good quick guards, this is pretty good because now she can crit off the first turn. You can choose when you want to crit with her, and she has the crit damage on this skill. but they didn't really change anything else. She just functions a whole lot better. I would definitely put her on the same spot as Chiome. Me personally, I would put her. Okay, right, right, yeah, I would put her on the same level as Chiome. She's not up here, but she's doing pretty good. Chiome just has like power mods, while Shiki is like if she's not critting, like she's trying to get back to her MP. Chiome like wants to MP, but like her base cards actually will do damage because of the power mods. Okay, and again, at this point, this really is a mishmash of whether or not people should be placed where they are. We'll scale down when I finally go back and redo the tier list for 2024. Right. And the last one, Ptolemaios. I'm definitely gonna have to run through this because I don't want this to be a super long video. I want this to be out while I'm at work. So he is a archer that swaps between single target buster and AoE arts. Basically an inverse of Melisson. But unlike Melisson, he can swap back and forth. So truly he is the inverse. He truly is the, I don't want to say the opposite. He's the inverse. He swaps between old man and young warrior. And also he's a Shiro face. And he has two swords sticking out of the ground. I wonder if the artist is trying to tell you something. It's also the person that has drawn every single Rin face in the game. I think the artist was. I think the game was trying to tell us something. All right, so base attack looks good for a 5-star. HP, not the highest, but it's okay. Don't worry. He got his healing in his kit. Star weight and star general archer numbers 0.43% for MP gain. A little bit of an issue, but it really depends on how you're using it. You can mitigate this, and it really just depends on what units you're bringing with you. That's it. It is completely set up depending whether this is gonna affect you or not. 3 hits on quick, 3 hits on the 2 arts, 3 hits on the 2 buster, 5 hit extra attack. Meant because he's swapping between arts and buster, he wants to be able to do arts brave chains, buster brave chains. My chains are cool too, but like for him, he actually would want to click red until it's dead or art spam. First skill, party wide attack, heal per turn, stars per turn. Good stuff. It doesn't matter. I mean, these two don't really matter if you're farming. This a little bit, but not that much. And if you're farming, you're not going to take damage. But I mean, this heals from bitch stuff, so cool. Arts up, buster up, both 20%, but for the party, crit attack chance resistance 20%. These parts work both for farming and challenge quests. Your party will die to crits much less, and if you've ever used a berserker, you know they die to 1 crit sometimes. This would stop them from dying to 1 crit. If they have this, I'm not saying bring them to fight with a berserker. I'm saying like this specific buff will stop your berserker from getting crit. That's why Morgan is like such a monster. Besides the invincible comp, like she's just very hard to crit down. Excuse me. Oh yeah, and a 50 battery on top of that. So good. And the swap, if he goes on stage 1 or 2, he ascends to stage 3. He gets a 30% battery and 30% MP damage. So you would start him in stage 1, and you could basically black or a loop with him. If you're in stage 3, he drops down to stage 1. You get MP Gen up 30%, crit damage up 50%, star weight 500%, and 20 stars. Swap to AoE, you're farming. Swap to single target, you are critting. Oh, and also the name of the skill doesn't change. But yeah, overall, it's interesting. It's interesting. They have gotten so much better at making swapping units than Jekyll and Hyde. They'll think they need to let you double pop or let you keep popping the MP on when you're in Hyde, but that's my personal opinion, I guess. Magic Resist B, 17.5 resistance. Independent Action A, 10% crit damage. Territory Creation A, plus 11% arts performance. Nice passive to have as an arts farmer, possibly. And buff removal resistance up 20%. Yeah, there's a chance his buffs just don't go away if they're supposed to get ripped off. So if you have someone that has like above 100% removal, not 500, you can't do shit about 500. But if they have like 100% chance, there's a chance that your buffs will not get removed. Mana loading is probably the most versatile thing you can possibly get here, and then coming close is extra attack, anti archer. It's whatever. I would definitely focus on mana loading though. It will let you start from 0 and do some really cool shit. Okay, Buster MP ignores defense, activates first. Very nice. But this is a buff. It is not intrinsic to the MP, meaning if you have buff block on, you will not get pierce defense. Unlike Ibuki, which she always has pierce defense. She gets ignore uh invul pierce as the buff on her MP. Damages to one enemy, reduces their defense, doesn't happen before damage, unfortunate. MP damage up 20% at base and then scales up to 40. And thank God this activates first, because how redundant is it to get MP damage up if it's after the MP? Especially if it's only for one turn. Just saying. Then we go to arts. Ignores evasion, reduces defense, same. And still the MP damage. Bond CE, arts up 8%, buster up 8%, MP damage up 10% while he is on the field. He is a good quality of life servant. He is versatile. If you're really smart with him, you can make him shine. And he kind of just works. Um yeah, he is at least here. At least here. I haven't used him that much. So this honestly is me putting him here because I don't have that much experience using him outside of like just the Grail front. I know what he can do, but it requires that you have him. Otherwise, you cannot do any of like the cool setups with him. Double Vitch, like mixing matching Vitches and Castorias. You can't do that if you don't actually have him to test. He is a unit where if you don't have the other options, you're not gonna see anywhere near the kind of return. It's not like quick units where now you have two Scotties and you have Oberon. If you don't have one of them, you can kind of get away with it. Or the fact that you can pull someone off your friends list and you'll be able to do the full Scotty setup because you have two Scotties are out, two different Scotties are out, and Oberon. Like you kind of can ignore that a little bit. Cannot do that with Ptolemaios. It's not gonna work because in order to like doing the Vitch swapping, you need double Vitch. You need cooldown reduction. No other unit in the game reduces cooldowns like Vitch. It's just not gonna work as well. Plus, you'd probably want Plug Suit with that on top. She is up here purely for looping. He has more options. That is what like people have been telling me. I still think she deserves to be here in EX. Just because like as a looper, like it is hard to compete with the raw damage she can put out. Like these are common things that would run up in farming, especially demonic. They are common. Ptolemaios has no niche. So if he is not killing, you got a problem. And it is very hard to do any kind of like real calcs for Ptolemaios because it is again completely dependent on your supports. I think this guy is really good, but I cannot let the salt that Juna spooked me on this banner like not temper my opinions on him. I'm still very salty about it. All right, so I made the same mistake on this. Okay, one sec. All right, hopefully I don't make that mistake again because then I'm actually like losing out on servants that should be on the list. Um, basically, I'm like putting them in. I'm putting them on this tier list, but not in the actual tier list. So if I like save or anything, it goes away. That's the issue I'm having. Um, yeah, you can move him up or down. It really depends on your placement. He is here because he's versatile. He doesn't get his own category like Melisson. He's nowhere near as broken as Melisson. Like that is just a fact. Melisson does not need half the shit in her kit, and she has it. He needs all this stuff. Like his skills aren't multiple skills on their own. They're not. The cool like he is he is balanced. Melisson is not balanced. That is the difference. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this tier list video. I think it did go on a little bit too long. I probably went a little too ranty, but I need to somehow justify my reasoning. All right. See you guys. Peace.